Now, this thing is visually coming together because all the exterior components are more or less put together. But as we know, there's nothing holding this thing together. It's kind of just stuff floating out in space. And on top of all of that, also, speaking of floating, all of these components are floating as well for the most part. You can see the little hyphen to the left of the file names for each of these. That's telling me that these are floating. That means if I grab this housing and drag it, it's just going to allow me to freely move that. Now that seems really convenient, except something that will really commonly happen is you click on something and you drag it just a little bit by accident, and you don't realize that you did it, and then everything is kind of off kilter. So first of all, if this were off kilter and I needed to fix it, the quickest way to do that would be to create a mate, and then I would clear that out. Let's go and grab that top housing. Let's grab its origin, and then grab the origin of my assembly, and that's going to snap those two things together, and they will stay that way. And now you'll notice that there is no little hyphen to the left of this. It's just it just says the file name. That means that this thing is fully constrained. It's fully defined in space, and it can't be moved. Now these others happen to be in the right place already, though. There's no reason to add that mating constraint if I don't have to. So I'm just going to select those and right-click and go down to Fix. That's going to put a little F to the left of their name, so I can't accidentally move anything in space. We don't want to make any mistakes by accident. Also, I can't really see what's going on the inside of this thing, but I do like these material assignments. I want to be able to get back to these later on when I'm done. So what I can do is head over to my materials, and these are my custom materials here. And what I would do is just grab one of these materials and apply it to a part. But instead of applying it to the part itself so that the part file becomes green, instead I'm going to apply it to the part file within the context of this assembly. And what that will mean is that if I right-click this and open it in a new window, it's still Chrome. It's just that in the context of the assembly, it's going to display it as green. And one way that I can quickly visualize that is to head over here to the Feature Manager design tree and then extend that out to the right. And you'll see down here in the Appearances area, there are actually two different appearances. The one on the top is the one that is applied at the assembly level, hence the one that we're seeing, and the one on the bottom is the one applied within the part. We can always click that and we can remove appearance, and it'll remove the assembly appearance and bring us straight back to the one defined in the part. So I'm going to go through and define each of these a different transparent color once again, but always at the assembly level, so that it's very easy to see where each one of these parts begins and ends. But then later we'll be able to turn those off really easily. I'll just make the bottom piece here an opaque dark gray, just so it's very easy to see what's going on as we work. And next, we're going to be tasked with adding some mechanical features, but before that, actually, the other thing is the acoustic engineers need to know a little bit about the interior volumes taking place here. They need to know how big is the acoustic volume inside of this object, and also what is the area, what are the dimensions of this port. So let's go ahead and take some dimensions as well, just so that they'll be able to give us any adjustments they might need.